Right, so it's the 28th of February 2026. We're up at Town Hall again, second time today. And this protest, it's 3:30, it's just gone past now, so there's only not many there, but this is a protest called a SNAP protest about the Pride in Protest group not being allowed to participate in the annual Mardi Gras, which is on tonight. Primarily, I believe, because of their anti-genocide views as what they write, which I think means and also something happened with they wrote some comments about the Jewish group or something. I don't know. I didn't follow the whole story, so I only know the bits and pieces. But yeah, this is not that many. They put a call out for people to turn up, but it's a very limited number. Very, very limited number. So, and it's, as I said, it's already kicked off. But they are planning on marching from here through to there's a fair few more cops here today. They are planning on marching from here to Hyde Park, where the beginning of the protest starts. So let's see what happens. Delicious hot Ukrainian borscht, $5. So you get a thing of borscht. You got the legal observers here. You got a few cops, not as many cops as I thought. A little bit of mainstream media in the background. Then you got the Ukrainians, who are generally always here anyway. I think, or their time has probably elapsed. They're usually gone by now. Russia's war, stop funding the Russia's war. Ukraine. Legal observers here. Cops. Yeah, not a massive number of cops, considering I'm sure they know what's going to be going on. So, and there'll be the march, but maybe they just know the numbers won't be that great, and maybe they're assuming it'll be a march along the footpath. This will be the Christians, I'm assuming, the next lot. So the Ukrainians usually here every weekend, but I think we've missed it already. This is officials Zijl after party. Not sure what that's all about. And these are the Christians. Every minute somebody leaves this world behind. Are you willing to spread the name of Lord Jesus for 5 minutes? So that's them. More cops, a few more cops down here at the end. There's quite a few more cops here. And then you got some other people down the bottom doing some sort of I don't know what they are, some dance troupe or something or other at the town hall. But they're doing their little signs. So let's head back up to the protest that's organised by Pride and Protest and see what happens with that. Otherwise, pretty typical day at Town Hall with a few odds and ends going on. All right, it's just kicking off now. I'll get a spot and hopefully we'll be fine. See how we go. Stand near this other cameraman, maybe.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now. 1, we are the people. 2, we won't be silent. 3, stop the bombing now, 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 now. Quiz for Gaza. I'm going to do it again so everyone knows how it goes. Quiz for Gaza. Globalize the Intifada. 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 Long live the Intifada. Long live the Intifada. Intifada. Thank you very much, everyone, for standing out. I don't know, from the sound of the crowd, you might be just as pissed off as I am about the recent news that has come out. So thank you for turning out on Mardi Gras to protest genocide, but also the exclusion of our march from the parade. On what basis? On the basis of opposing genocide socially and refusing to be silent about it. My name is Jean. I'm a proud trans woman. I'm a a proud member of Pride and Protest, and I have marched with this float previously. And as far as we're concerned, I will continue to do so. I will be chairing this little snap rally. It will be a little bit disorganized, but that's okay. Let's do it. Our first speaker is Evan, who is a Pride and Protest, who has been a spokesperson of the protest campaign. I wish I prepared an introduction, but they can do self-ID and explain themselves.
Yeah, so my name's Evan, and I promise I'm not an alcoholic. So I explained myself as a moment ago as a kindy teacher who just has a lot of opinions, and I think a lot of us are really just everyday people, yeah, who are really frustrated with the fact that more or less the big end of town gets to decide how we express our culture, how we live our lives, how we work, and we don't get any say in it. And right now, Mardi Gras has made a really cooked set of decisions. Yeah. And I say set because it's not just last night, it's the night before that, the night before that, and it just seems to like go in this never-ending, all the way down. I think what we need to understand is that Mardi Gras is more or less contracted out to the big end of town. Yeah. That these people are saying trans rights is too edgy for us, it's an imposition. Shame! Shame! They are saying that it is vilification to bring up the genocide. Shame! And they are saying that we, us rebel, are just really bad governance. And I think we need to blow that out of the water, right? We need to accept that this community is not normal, it's not polished, and it never should be. Yeah. We're the everyday, all of us together. That is what the whole LGBT without the T, plus the I, plus the Q, plus the A actually means. All of us together. And that B does not stand for the blue lives, by the way. A lot of this started after the AGM last year. So, AGM, Annual General Meeting of Mardi Gras. And we managed to successfully pass a few motions, one of which is just that blokes be encouraged to take up the question of trans rights. Sounds violent, doesn't it? Have you ever been encouraged to do something? It's a violent process. I experience it every day at work when I need to encourage the children to go to the toilet, right? You know, if I didn't do that, maybe I'd be violent, maybe pissing themselves. But the other violent thing was saying that we should expect something of our politicians. Anti-discrimination reform at an absolute minimum. What a low bar. And Mardi Gras has not acted. It has gone out and it has decided to persecute directors, decided to vilify members, and I think we should say that because trans people are not dangerous. We are not harassing people, we're not intimidating people when we ask others to do something, but that is where it started. And then, the day before, while we were at work, they sent through an email because they're concerned. They're concerned about the safety of a group that itself has said that they want to protest Mardi Gras for supporting a ceasefire. And that apparently now there needs to be over-policing where police might carry rifles tonight in order to keep people safe. Shame indeed. And meanwhile, on this question of safety, are the police still marching? Yeah, right? Where are the police being excluded after the recent protests for bashing so many of us? Do I get to make a grievance to Mardi Gras where they expel all the cops because 3 of the little piggies pinned me down the other week? No, we know that none of this is about inclusivity. We know that none of this is about safety. None of this decision making by Mardi Gras is about actually investing in our community. It is about placating that big end of town and saying that there is a sanitized image that will placate the cops. And I say sanitized because they can't even stand having one picture in their station. Because they made a complaint apparently and kicked out a portrait that had gay stuff in it. They want the most sanitized possible thing so that they can tolerate our existence. But I say that we should never make ourselves so small that we can be tolerated by bigots and the big end of town. We should never be encouraged to make ourselves less. That we should never be encouraged to be quiet in order to please these people. Because that is what pride is about. So, having subjected you to a random rant, I am now going to segue that into a chant, unintentional rhyme. Pride was a riot, we won't be quiet. 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 And now, if our MC Dean wants to come back for a moment, because I've lost more things that I want to say, so sucked in for the next person.
I want to do a chant about the police. Too many coppers!
Never any justice!
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 It is important to remember in our anger, in our struggle against these Zionists and against the police, that our struggle is rooted in the reality of where we stand specifically. We are currently standing on the land of the Gadigal people. And it is important to recognise in our struggle that it always was and always will be Aboriginal land. It's important to recognise in our struggle that there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing, as queer liberation without justice for Indigenous people, not just here but across the globe. This solidarity is important because we cannot be free until Palestine is free. We cannot have justice for anyone on this land until there is justice for the black people whose land is exploited, whose families continue to be terrorised by police. Sorry, I'm speaking. Always was, always will be
Aboriginal land!
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 Thank you. I would like to call on our next speaker, a staunch queer activist from Socialist Alliance. Rachel Evans is a
Always was, always will be
Aboriginal land!
No pride in genocide!
No pride in genocide!
No pride in genocide!
No pride in genocide!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thanks everyone, are we good? Look how handsome we are! My name is Rachel Evans, she, her, they, them. I'm also involved in the City of Sydney for Palestine, where we got Clover Moore to pass a ceasefire motion in November 2023, and where we got Clover Moore and the council to pass a divest motion a year and a half later. This land was never ceded, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. I'm appalled at Mardi Gras Inc. Absolutely appalled. Shame! Why are they banning us from marching? This is unprecedented. We are the spirit of 78. Pride and protest. It's the spirit of 78. 28 years ago, queers took to the streets twice. One at lunchtime and one in the evening. The evening was more of a parade. The evening was There were people who were able to be slightly anonymous in the evening. The police bashed the shit out of us in the evening. 57 people were arrested. Peter Murphy was beaten very badly. But people didn't walk away. People turned up to the jail cell that night. They got the bail, and then they organised against Sydney Morning Herald, who published all of the names and addresses of the 57 arrested. Actually, not unlike the Daily Telegraph, who published online the 10 people who were brutalised and arrested on Monday, February the 9th at the anti-hazard, anti-war criminal protest. There are parallels. But why did they ban us? What is this about? Well, actually, every time Clover Moore, under grassroots pressure, passed a motion for Palestine, she was rung up by the pro-genocide Zionists. The Jewish Board of Deputies rang her and said, "What are you doing? We don't want you to do this." And they sent some orders the council's way. To the council's credit, they did not fold. But what we have here is Mardi Gras folding. It is because of Palestine that we are barred today. And did people see that horrid piece of journalism on the ABC 4 nights ago? The 7:30 report. It was horrible to see young gay men lured by gangs and beaten. This is appalling, and we stand against this. This is hate crime and shame. But what the ABC did not talk about was the fact that there are white supremacist Nazi groups also luring gay men. They just talked about the ISIS gang, and let us be clear, ISIS are not involved in the pro-Palestine campaign. What this is an attempt to divide the queer community, who are very organised to free Palestine, because no one is free until Palestine is free. This is an attempt to divide us from the Arabic community, from the refugee community, from those experiencing the worst of Western imperialism, for us to walk away from the struggle. And what do we say? We say never. We are not walking away, not in our name. They are trying to weaponise the queer community for their imperialist aims. They have killed, perhaps, actually the UN rapporteur says that this is the truth. Let's go with this. In the realm of 680,000 Palestinians in the name of the Jewish religion. Shame. Shame. Are trying to do this in the name of the rainbow community, and we will not have it. Together we stand, together we fall, and we are standing strong with the Palestinian Solidarity Movement. Walk away. There is no pride in genocide, no pride in genocide. Free, free Palestine. And what are we doing today? We are demanding that Mardi Gras let us back in the parade. So let's hear it. Let us in.
Let us in! 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 Let us in!
If it's all right, I'll just make one final point. There's a Jew against the occupation comrade here. Give him a big round of applause. Come stand here. Yehuda, give him a round of applause. This is Jacob, everyone, an important activist. There are Jews against the occupation who have lost family because of their pro-Palestinian stance. And this is something that actually the rainbow community feels very acutely. Some of us have lost our family because we are gay, because we are transgender, and because, unfortunately, bigotry, homophobia, transphobia is rife within the community, and some families reject us. Shameful and very sad. But the solidarity, the families that we advance, we develop, the love that we have for our comrades in struggle is binding us together. So give a big round of applause to the Jews Against the Occupation.
She is a member of Solidarity, she is in my union, and she is also a sick bitch. Give it up for Sophie!
Thanks so much, Dean. Thank you everyone for being here. I want to start with a chant that I just got from the crowd, and it goes like this. Queers for Gaza, globalise the Intifada. 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 Palestine is teaching us right now exactly why we need to globalise the Intifada. Because they are coming for our cultural institutions. Who are they? The people who run this country. Chris Minns, they wanted to parade the president of Israel and brought him to this city in order to celebrate their connections with Israel. They are prepared to tear apart every single cultural institution in order to support their connections with Trump's America and Israeli apartheid. They're attacking Grace Tame, they're attacking our universities, they're attacking the schools, and they are attacking, as we saw with Roundup Del Fattah, things like the Writers' Festival in Adelaide. And just like with Roundup Del Fattah, we are not backing down. And just like her, we're going to overturn this decision. Mardi Gras, you're going to lose, and we will be back in the parade. Who described himself as in 2012 as a sexual racist, is employing the same racism today when he says that when we criticize genocide, when we call for intifada, that we should be banned and taken out of the parade. Meanwhile, the Liberal Party who want to defund Mardi Gras are welcome, and who are calling to defund Mardi Gras, they are welcome. Welcome to the police, the New South Wales Police, who are joining us here today in a familiar display of force, about 10 metres exactly where we were bashed about 2 weeks ago, along with many queer people standing up for Palestine. This week I learned something about the original Mardi Gras that I think is very, very instructive about what's going on today. At the very first Mardi Gras, someone flew an Israeli flag. And someone spoke to that person and they explained to them that the Israeli flag does not represent Jews, it represents an apartheid state on the other side of the world that is oppressing to march with us, but in our parade, we have a stand of solidarity with Aboriginal people, with Palestinians, with all people to march together. And at that very first Mardi Gras, before they were smashed by the New South Wales police, they took down that flag and they marched together. This today is the spirit of the Mardi Gras. We're queer, we're fabulous, don't fuck with us. What's next? We are going to keep up the fight, there's lots more to do. We're going to fight back these things. We're going to be marching in this parade, if not this year, then next year. And we're going to keep on fighting as we go. I just want to say a couple more things. I was asked to speak about the unions. There are a number of trade unionists here, and we are keeping up the fight. This is not a message to us that we're going to go away quietly, but that we're going to stop supporting Palestine, like Jesse Matheson and Chris Vance and Anthony Albanese want us to do. We're going to go even harder. We're going to continue to support Palestine. We're going to cut ties. We're going to cut ties with Israel. We're going to cut Mardi Gras ties with Israel. We're going to cut our union ties with Israel. Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us! We're queer! We're fabulous! Don't fuck with us!
I really like this. We've already said before in our speeches that silence is violence and silence is complicity. We would like to invite, as such, our next two speakers. It's a two package. So these people have made no secret of their support for trans rights, and they refuse to be silent in spite of crackdowns, just like the one that we've heard about last night. Choo and Damian Nguyen are two Pride and Protest elected board directors to the Mardi Gras board. They are two of the directors of 8 on the board right now. We will hear from them today. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to start my speech as always with a chant. Out of the bars and into the street! Out of the bars and into the street! Out of the closet and into the street! Out of the closet and into the street! Together we stand, together we fight! Together we stand, together we fight! We demand our equal rights! We demand our equal rights! I feel like you can do much better than that! We demand our equal rights! We demand our equal rights! Queers, queers, queers for Gaza! Queers, queers, queers for Gaza! Mobilize the intifada! Mobilize the intifada! Queer, queer, queer for Gaza! Queers, queers, queers for Gaza! Mobilize the intifada! Mobilize the intifada! Thank you very much, everybody!
Thank you, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to just acknowledge that today we're gathered here at such short notice on the occupied and unceded territory of the Gadigal people, the traditional owners of these stolen lands. And that we acknowledge that the First Nations had never ceded sovereignty, and it always will be Aboriginal land. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past and present and any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. Thank you everyone for being here. I did not come here with a script. I came here with anger in my heart, but with pride, because I'm so happy at such short notice that so many people have gathered here. said to everyone that Mardi Gras and Pride, what it means is a protest, and it is a riot, and it is an uprising, and that so many people have come out here today to say no to the pink washing of genocide in our name. It is very important to remember that being political is not just an identity, it is very much political in the sense of like, so many of us are gathered here because we stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people, and we understand that our struggle for collective liberation cannot be fulfilled without the rights and the justice and the land back and the sovereignty of the Palestinian nation, finally liberated from occupation, from apartheid, from genocide of indigenous peoples, from the river to the sea.
Thank you very much. I think it's really important to acknowledge what just happened in the last few days, but also that what happened in the last few days exists in a very long change and long series. This year marked the 48th Mardi Gras, and we remember the first one in which the majority of people who took the street on that day took the street out of pure anger, out of pure emotion about the political context of what is happening. And so by being here today, we are representative of that politics, of that history, that we took the streets because we see what happened in front of our eyes, and we decide that the only way for freedom, for liberation, is by being here. Earlier this week, I'm sure many of you would have seen the photo of a flattened Gaza, of a flattened Rafah. It was only 2 days ago in which the Trump administration announced that we have seen in Kansas, under the Trump administration, the reenactments of conversion therapy for transgender people. It is a matter of fact that Mardi Gras, as much as it is about visibility, it is about a fight for social change. It is about a fight for our community. It is a fight about each and every single one of us here today. Now, I am under no illusion that the Mardi Gras board, that we are speaking on behalf of the Mardi Gras board. It is a matter of fact that we are here representing not Mardi Gras, but the majority of queer people in our community who are in support of transgender rights, who are in support of Palestine, who are in support of freedom from police violence. The police are here today as well. They are right behind us. They are patrolling us. Now, I remember 2 years ago when I was at this exact spot after the murder of Luke and Jesse by a police officer using a police weapon. Now, it is a matter of fact that they will be marching tonight, that it is they who will be in front of the crowd, it is they who will be on the ABC, it is they who are seen as a representative of our community. But it is a matter of fact, and each and every single one of us here tonight know that it is the everyday struggle that queer people are facing. It is the ongoing violence by police, it is the profiling, the detention, the arrest and the attack by the New South Wales police and police forces around the world that we are facing.
Being a cop is a choice! Being a cop is a choice! Being a cop is a choice! Being a cop is a choice!
Now we are here also with the political history of the chants of the first Mardi Gras in 1978. What did those people took the street to say? We are saying them here today. I also want to say thank you to the 78er who showed up here today as well. Stop police attack! Stop police attack! Stop police attack on queer women and black! Stop police attacks on queer women and blacks!
today not as a board director of Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. I'm speaking to you today as a member of the queer community and as a trans woman here right now. I'm speaking here today as an asylum seeker because my first queer love and my ex-partner is a Palestinian refugee, and it is shameful that right now Mardi Gras will use my name and will use my flag to justify the ethnic cleansing of his people, the occupation of the land, the apartheid, the genocide, the land theft. And it is shameful, but I'm so proud that so many people are here today with me to say that enough is enough. We will not use our flags and we will not use our name to big wash that blood on the hands of the Israeli regime and anyone that enables the collaboration and the occupation. It is also, I'm so proud of this community for standing up, because so many of us trans people and cis allies came out and said we will embrace trans rights and we will fight for anti-discrimination reform. And I'm here today to say that it is the same struggle that we fight for trans pride, for trans justice, and for trans resistance. It is the same fight for Palestinian justice and for Palestinian pride and for their liberation from the river to the sea. And that Mardi Gras is a riot, it is an uprising, it is an intifada.
All right, now I don't want to take too much of your time on a day like today. I guess there's one more thing that is really important that we talk about, is that today at this gathering, which hopefully will march, it is really important to remember that this is the politics that represent our community. That through all the glitz and glam of it all, through all the photo shoots and the parade and the massive crowd, it is social movement, it is people gathering like on today, expressing our politics and uniting over what is happening both in our local community, what is happening nationally, and what is happening internationally that matters. We must remember that the first Mardi Gras was a result of an international event. That there was Mardi Gras everywhere else, and that we are representative during Pride Month of that history. And so when we are gathering here today, we remember the pain of the world. We remember what's happening in Gaza right now, and we remember what's happening in our community. We remember the history of police violence against our community. We remember Veronica Baxter, who passed away way too soon in 2009, who is a black transgender woman after Mardi Gras. It was a shame that we are standing here today with her legacy. It is important that we remember that history. It also is important to remember that police violence is ongoing. There is no way of standing here today without mentioning what happened last year with the passing of Colin Burling in custody of the police in Waterloo, where the police officer murdered him in their custody in front of his partner as his partner filmed from above. Today we are standing here as recipients of that legacy with the fight and the will for social change. Today I am standing here seeing so many beautiful people in front of my eyes, knowing that this is not the only time I will see you. I know that I will see you again on Transday of Visibility. I know that I will see you again during Pride Month. I know that I will see you again on Transday of Resistance. And I know that I will see you on the street for Palestine, for black rights, against police violence. Thank you very much, everyone. They say accident. We say murder. They say accident. We say murder. They say accident. We say murder. Thank you very much, everybody.
The siege on Gaza!
Shut it down!
The siege on Gaza!
Shut it down!
The border wall! Oh my God! The border wall!
Shut it down!
The carpet bombing!
Shut it down!
The carpet bombing!
Shut it down!
The whole damn system!
Shut it down!
The whole damn system!
Shut it down!
Thank you, Damian and Luna. It has been a consistent effort from people within our community and elsewhere to protest the ongoing genocide since October 2023 and prior. And we will not stop, we will not rest until organizations supposedly that supposedly represent us like Mardi Gras divest from genocide until they have no place in it. So, with that out of the way, I wanted to introduce our next speaker. Adam is a member of Stop the War on Palestine. Give it up for Adam.
And I just want to reiterate what others have said. Mardi Gras is about liberation, not keeping a genocidal state, quote unquote, safe from the criticism and opposition it deserves. The disgusting display from the Mardi Gras CEO we're seeing today is the same thing we've seen from the Adelaide Festival Board when they went after Rhonda Abdel Fattah. When those racists exploited the Bondi attack to try and smear her, drive her out of the festival, say it wasn't safe because she was present. It's the same thing we're seeing today. It's the same thing we saw on February 9 when that piece of garbage, Chris Minns, unleashed his cops on the community, standing up against the supreme representative of a genocidal state. And I want to say this, they're like babushka dolls. You got the big ones, Trump and Netanyahu, and then you got the little ones, Albanese and Minns, and then you got the little baby ones like Jesse Matheson and the Mardi Gras CEO and the university vice chancellors that have persecuted Palestine activists and queer activists. And if you want to stop the big genocidal maniacs, you need to smash their little supporters. And I saw on social media some of the 78ers likening the violence on the streets we saw during the Herzog protest to the first Mardi Gras and to the horrific bashings that were unleashed on the community that day. What an absolute disgrace that Jesse Matheson is today coming out and continuing the work Chris Minns tried to start on February 9th right here. And it is funny, as Evan pointed out, they never pulled out the code of conduct to talk about harassment and safety when the police were marching, the same police that were shouting racial slurs while they bashed people in front of the Woolworths right there. And we should be clear, Dayenu, the Zionist organisation that publicly complains about Pride in Protest, is supporting genocide. You don't have to profess explicit support to support genocide. You just have to act in a way that helps the genocide continue. And that's exactly what they did when they complained about Mardi Gras supporting a ceasefire. That's exactly what they did when they responded to criticism of Israel's barbaric genocide by talking about Israel's supposed queer rights credentials. It is absolutely stomach-turning. I wonder what those credentials look like to the Palestinians who are getting bulldozed into mass graves. the actions of the Mardi Gras board of Dayenu support and enable genocide. They support a state that has admitted butchering at least 70,000 Palestinians, that has been exposed as evaporating 3,000 Palestinians with thermobaric weapons, that has raped people to death in their jails, and that every day brutalises and steals more land in the West Bank. And they want to turn around and say to us, censoring people that oppose that is going to keep us safe, that it's going to protect Jews. What we've seen again and again is the worst slander against Jews has come from the Zionists, who insist on equating all Jews with the barbaric crimes of the Israeli state. Shame! They do cry crocodile tears. Some tears are authentic, but some tears come with a message that my pain and my fear mean you have to stop criticising genocide. Those type of tears, when they fall, transform into the bombs that fall on the refugee tents. Shame! But I think we can take hope. The Mardi Gras board's actions are disgraceful, but the people they are acting so similar to, they lost. The Adelaide Festival was smashed by the collective opposition. They had to invite Rhonda back. Chris Minns came out. He said we couldn't rally at Town Hall against Herzog. We rallied at Town Hall against Herzog. They said we couldn't march on the streets. We replied by chanting, "Let us march." And then that turned into, "We will march." And despite their cowardly attacks, despite people bashing people a third of their own size, the cops unleashing on the elderly, by the end of that night, we marched down George Street chanting, "Globalise the Intifada." They can be pushed back. We can win. If they weren't losing the argument, they wouldn't need to try and silence us. So from Gadigal to Gaza, globalise the Intifada. From Gadigal to Gaza, globalise the Intifada. From Gadigal to Gaza, globalise the Intifada. From Gadigal to Gaza, globalise the Intifada.
Thank you so much, Adam. Let me think of the chant I was gonna do. That's right. I smell bacon, I smell grease, I smell the New South Wales police. I smell bacon, I smell grease, I smell the New South Wales police. I smell bacon, I smell grease, I smell the New South Wales police. I smell bacon, I smell grease, I smell the New South Wales police. Thank you so much for speaking, Adam. It is important to recognise that violence, police brutality against our community is, as we have seen, a shocking contemporary reality, but it is not a new development. It is all throughout the history, prior to the first Mardi Gras and since then. There is a narrative pushed by some people to say that the horrific attacks on the queer community that took place that night in 1978 has since been resolved, that the police are now on our side. And I hope, as Adam has talked about, shame indeed. I'm glad people are upset as I am. As we have seen in the last few weeks, that's a fucking lie! So, I would like to invite Mark Gillespie, a 78er who marched in the first Mardi Gras. That's right, he is also a proud member of City of Sydney for Palestine. Give it up, Mark!
Thank you, everybody. We gather again on Gadigal land here at Town Hall, and I acknowledge particularly Aboriginal people present, and Palestinians too, of whom I've seen a few this afternoon. I'd also like to acknowledge there are at least 2 or 3 other 78ers in the crowd tonight. And one of them, I'm going to refer back to an earlier speaker who mentioned about 1978 at the first Mardi Gras, when one person held up aloft that Israeli flag. This is so long ago. Remember, we're only hours away from the 48th Mardi Gras parade as we stand here today. But that person is actually here in the audience. He said to that person holding the Israeli flag, that flag represents an oppressive state. So I just a shout out for my comrade Ken Davis, who was just over here. As I stand here, I'm going to hold up a placard that was made just in the day after February the 9th. Remember that night, which, like the first Mardi Gras, is now going to go down in history as one of those turning points, I'm sure, in history. Because what was exposed that night was that the kind of authoritarian turn occurring in this state and this country that we have to stand strong against. And that's why I'm standing with Pride in Protest tonight, and I'm saying that as a 78er, I want Pride in Protest in, not out of the parade. In an attempt at mediation, I telephoned the CEO of Mardi Gras Inc. Jesse Matheson's name has been mentioned already tonight. I can tell you that what I heard after telling him it was a foolish move to try to ban Pride in Protest, what I heard from him was sheer brinkmanship. He was attempting quite deliberately to make sure that there would be a standoff and an attempt to isolate this group of people, this proud group of protesters, who, as I say, I stand with today. This was a blatant attempt by the CEO of Mardi Gras Inc. to demonize this very group, which carries the very soul of the first Mardi Gras. Without Pride in Protest, Mardi Gras would simply be a tool for the advertising of corporates. You know that, I know that. And that's not the Mardi Gras that many of us 78ers want to stand for ever again. We want always our Mardi Gras to be a celebration of a city that is cosmopolitan, a city every February going on to March, where not only queer people, but also the whole community, heterosexuals as well, can feel the freedom that they can be who they are. We don't want to see what happened on December the 14th, and we do not want to see what happened on February the 9th. This is not our city. And unless we stand up and say what kind of city we want, we're going to find that this state government in particular is going to continue to attempt to stifle and crush democratic dissent. Just briefly, I will tell you, after the 53 people who were arrested on the June night of the first Mardi Gras, we managed to get them out and the charges dropped, along with many hundreds of others, because after that first Mardi Gras, what happened was a period of several months of mass civil disobedience in this city. I saw some of that spirit on the Tuesday after the Monday when we protested the war criminal Herzog's visit. On the Tuesday, there were thousands of people underneath the Surrey Hills Police Headquarters. Today I see again. I think you can learn something from us. What we did, you heard some of it already tonight in the chant you heard just a few minutes back. Women compose more than 50% of the population. Back in 1978, the most common chant that the 78ers had was "Stop police attacks on gays, women and blacks. Stop police attacks on gays, women and blacks." And now I'm just going to acknowledge the artist who made the placard that I'm going to carry when I march in a couple of hours' time with the 78ers in the parade. And I acknowledge Jamil, who painted this soon after that police brutality of February the 9th. I'm going to hold up the placard in a minute because I know that there's a police line behind you, and I want the police to see it. I want the police to see it because this is not the state we want to live in. Thank you, everyone.
Police attacks on gays, women and blacks. Stop police attacks on gays, women and blacks. Stop police attacks on gays, women and blacks.
Let's do another one. Cops bash women.
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 Shame.
Shame.
Woo! Thank you so much, Mark. I'm going to call on our last speaker, just noting that there's plans to march afterwards. Our last speaker is a proud member of Jews Against the Occupation 48. Give it up for Michelle Burkon. Pride was a riot.
Pride was a riot.
Pride was a riot.
We weren't being quiet.
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 Woo! Thanks for giving us time for Michelle to get her speech off. Ready to go.
Hey, sorry everyone. I thought I had another minute or two. First of all, I want to acknowledge the Gadigal people upon whose lands we stand today. I respect and in fact envy their incredible connection, an unbreakable connection with country. And I stand in solidarity with all Indigenous peoples everywhere. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dayenu, because as a proud Zionist, anti-Zionist, anti-colonial Jew, I have a lot to say about the way Zionists behave, particularly Jewish Zionists. The disgraceful denial of Pride in Protest's rightful place in Mardi Gras reflects the craven capitulation of yet another cultural institution to the utterly ruthless Zionist lobby. Like Israel with its Samson option, the leadership, Mardi Gras leadership, would rather take down everything than accept opposition to its hegemony. So Dayenu made a ploy. It withdrew at first because they weren't confident that the Mardi Gras space would privilege their naked racism. That should come under the heading of too bad. As I repeatedly remind Jews who support Israel, especially in the context of its genocide in Gaza, after which no Zionism can get away with calling itself liberal, if you choose to align yourself with an entity committing such horrific crimes, you absolutely should experience decent society's revulsion and rage. Now, specifically, Dayenu. Dayenu means it would have been enough for us. It's an ancient Jewish prayer that celebrates gifts that religious Jews believe God bestowed on Jewish people. The first 5 stanzas talk about freeing us from slavery, the next ones describe miracles, and the last 5 express gratitude for the closeness to God he gave Jewish people. Each stanza is followed by the words, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us, and the recitation of yet another gift bestowed. Cumulative gratitude, in other words. It seems to me that Dayenu thought that the word meant that's enough, as in stop. An expression of determination to resist oppression. But in Hebrew that word is simply die. But even aside from that, the group also misrepresents the sentiment of the prayer in another way. Dayenu doesn't mean that's enough for us, we don't need to care about others, just as never again should mean never again for everyone. Dayenu should be fighting for equality for all queer people. However, Dayenu definitely does not value universal rights. Their idea of enough means they only have to advocate for LGBTQIA+ communities that don't require them to reject Jewish supremacism. In Australia, we are beginning to emerge from the dark days of almost universal hatred, vilification, discrimination, and real physical violence against the queer community. We have a long way to go, but a growing proportion of Australians stand in solidarity with the struggle of LGBTQIA rights and equality every step of the way. In keeping with the pursuit of moral consistency, we also advocate for LGBTQIA+ rights wherever they are under threat. Not Dayenu. They're quite happy for Palestinians, queer Palestinians, to continue to live and die under the Israeli jackboot. Pinkwashing is the odious practice of covering an ugly truth with LGBTQIA+ propaganda, and Israel is its very embodiment. It advertises itself as a queer haven. Well, it is, for Jewish queers, up to a point. But Israel singles out Palestinian queers as a demographic quite apart from their broader community and targets them for manipulation and exploitation. Using threats of exposure, violence, and dire consequences for family and loved one, Israel blackmails Palestinian queers into becoming informants, isolating them from their own people, causing them egregious psychological harm as betrayers of their own people, and emotional suffering due to constant terror for their loved ones. As well, placing them in positions of extreme physical danger. Israel abuses Palestinian queer people who managed to cross the separation wall into 1948 territory by trapping them in a legal limbo, restricting their access to work permits, banking, shelter, and healthcare, rendering them vulnerable to exploitation. They become targets of Israelis who use their precarious position as a means of extorting them for sex. As a representative of Adelpour points out, quote, there is no pink door for queer and trans Palestinians to look through Israeli apartheid walls. Their queerness offers no immunity from being buried in the remains of bombed out hospitals or from starvation from the famine Israel has manufactured in Gaza. Being transgender does not mitigate the hunger driving Palestinians to aid sites that Israeli soldiers transform into killing fields. End quote. Israel also exploits Israeli queers. It lauds their inclusion in armed forces, both the IDF and other security wings, but it selects gay and transgender Israelis for the abuse of Palestinians. As a side note, it also basks in Israel's status as having the highest proportions of vegans in society. As a deeply committed vegan, I can say that this might be considered admirable, but when Israeli soldiers are offered vegan leather boots and belts and other kit and sent out to brutalise Palestinians, the hypocrisy and ruthlessness is utterly gut-churning. In short, Israel uses every possible opportunity to exploit every identity it can get its malicious hands on. It not only makes the lives of Palestinian queers as difficult, painful and dangerous as it can, but co-opts Jewish queers in their dehumanisation and brutalisation. Undoubtedly, when we all remember when around the onset of the Gaza genocide, an Israeli soldier stood atop the rubble, grinning as he held up a pride flag with the words, "In the name of love." The Israeli government then posted the photo to Instagram with the caption, "The first ever pride flag raised in Gaza." Simultaneously implicating rainbow identities in colonial conquest and portraying Palestinian society as a morass of homophobia. Thankfully, it was a propaganda effort that backfired spectacularly. Now, after 2 years of live stream genocide, Israel has pretty much abandoned pinkwashing as a messaging strategy. This is down to tireless counteraction work by Palestinian organisations such as Adelpour for sexual and gender diversity in Palestinian society and the International Solidarity Movement against Israel's occupation. The only entities still relying on pinkwashing as a messaging strategy are Zionist LGBTQIA organisations. Drum roll, Dayenu. No pride in genocide naturally became the global queer slogan, said Stephanie Westbrook, coordinator of the Palestinian campaign for the academic and cultural boycott of Israel. Quote, "Thousands of queer artists have pledged not to perform in Israel. Pride organisations are adopting ethical policies excluding sponsors and participants complicit in Israel's crimes against Palestinians, and the largest global queer and trans umbrella group, International Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Trans and Intersex Association, rejected Israel's candidacy for its World Congress and suspended complicit Israeli pinkwashing from its membership. This must and will continue to grow. Let's make this the very last Mardi Gras in which pro-Zionist organisations exert any influence over our cultural institutions, our society, our politics and anywhere else. Free Australia from Zionist insidious influence.
We're going to chant here for a little while, for 5 minutes, so this sound system can be packed up. We're going to have a little nice time with a few people chanting. I'm going to turn this microphone off and get on this new one.
So they've just announced they are going to march, but the cops don't seem to be too fussed about it. They said they're just getting their sound system organised. There's a reasonable number of cops here, but they're just all having a chinwag and a chat. They don't seem to have, they're not like they're going to try and tettle them in or do anything like the other day. So the march is definitely going to go ahead. Yeah, like I said, they're just getting their sound system teed up, so it's on board there's some sort of a trolley or something they're going to push it along with, I guess. So yeah, cops. They're having a handshake as they arrive. So I don't know if there will be. It probably will just. It looks like they will just go with them and, you know, take them through the street. But it doesn't seem that they've done any street blocking or anything else like that. So I'm not 100% certain, but we shall see. There's just a general public trying to get around as well at the same time. And the noise while it was happening, I think, is the Christians. There's a lot. It sounded like another protest, but so you got more cops across the street there, and then you got cops over here outside the town hall, and then these cops, and that's pretty much it. And I think they're not riot. I don't know if they are riot squad or not, but the legal observers here. People in various, you know, Mardi Gras themed attires. So yeah, looks like it's going to go ahead in a very short moment.
When Palestine is occupied.
Someone's got a microphone as well.
When Palestine is occupied. When Palestine is occupied.
Various groups just chit-chatting and working out what they're going to do as part of it all. I'm assuming they're going to go that way, down. I don't know. They've got to go to Hyde Park, so the quickest route to Hyde Park is to go just down here to Bathurst Street and turn left. But we shall see. There's not any sign of any I didn't see any mainstream media. We've got this guy, the usual guy whose name he told me, I can't remember it. I'm not sure who he even talks for, but he's here. And then the normal guy from the Green Left is here. And that's kind of it. So I think we'll wait. We might wait a minute until it sort of kicks off and we'll start filming again. Otherwise it's just me walking around and chatting. All right, they stopped the chanting and someone just said, let's go, we're going to march. He said, the people here are not your friends. Follow, which way are they going? But they're going to go this way, yeah? So the cops are off as well. Now they've thrown a spanner straight up by going the wrong direction. Bit of partying happening at the front there. Oh, there's some other young girls that are there for some. Oh, there's this guy from the Palestinian group with his red carpet. These other girls, I don't know what they are. They're not to do with this. Or ladies, or men, and a man. A couple of. Oh, there must be a. They're just a pride group getting a photo taken before it kicks off. So the cops are going ahead now. Yeah, they're saying line up. They could have done. I guess they never knew. They never knew beforehand who was going to be where and when. So it's like they're just teeing them. They're just getting teed up now, and they're gonna. So now the pride group is going to gather here for a minute. The cops are moving up more. There's not a lot of cops if they want to change tack and go a different way, which is possible. I don't like being stuck on this side, to be honest, in the middle of it, but... Oh no, they're just keeping him on the footpath. And he's yelling at him to go away. I think the thing is, it's good to go as long as you don't leave the footpath. Cops on the blower now. Yeah, we've got a 6-8-12 in progress, boys. It seems to have stayed on the footpath at the front. is the head cop is telling everyone to, I don't know what he's telling them to do, but he's got them on the hop. And there's just a random people just sort of on the view. And this cop has got the traffic stopped at least. So it's quite orderly so far, just staying on the, it's all staying on the footpath at this stage. Running up ahead, and I guess they want to get their photo. Oh, he's getting up on the chair I was going to take. Anyway. Yeah. So the cops have got them pretty much boxed in all the way. And the cops are moving, if they're in the way, the cops move them back in place. And it's not very far from here to Hyde Park. It's only pretty much at the end of that's Hyde Park where the green is at the end there. But at this stage, it looks like the road has been, they haven't got onto the road. But I think if I'm a betting man, it will happen at the end. It'll happen on Elizabeth Street where there's a big kind of a four-way gap. And they didn't really say which part of the Hyde Park they're going to go to. A few more coppers stopping and more traffic over here. This guy's got his kids on board, his little e-bike with three little boys in there. He's out of here. He's not waiting around for that shit. So he's gone. Is just fucking slamming through. He doesn't care too much. We're coming up to the corner where I believe if anything happens, it'll happen here. There's ladies here. I think she's selling some Pride stuff. This will be the point. Oh, there's more. I guess that's more groups of Pride that are getting ready. So there's more groups of Pride down there coming too. But this will be where, if it happens, this will be where something happens. But maybe not. Maybe I'm just. It looks like it's pretty much just going to go ahead with straight into the park now, and then that will then meld with all the other groups once they go in. That was a very constrained march along the footpath, which is not considered to be a march in reality because it's just just people walking along the footpath. Not sure why the guy's getting told to move his red carpet out of the way, but he stopped up for a minute. Not sure why he's a Palestine guy, but he's here today anyway. There's quite a few still coming. Marching them up in there too. Or if they're going to try and make a break. I'm going to duck down this little bit here for a minute while there's no cars. No, they're just going along now. So I don't know what else will happen at this stage. Yeah, there's a float. You can see down the end there. There's a float coming down the street as well. So there'll be all sorts going on tonight because of the night that it is. And then all the other groups, all the legal groups, they all meet up here. So where the fenced area is, they get put into little groups, and doing the hip, coming up the big jump. And the cops are walking them all the way, and then I don't know what they can do once they're up here in the park. It's not sure if it becomes the security of the Mardi Gras problem then, or the cops still have to deal with it. On a bit of a tilt. Yeah, so it's a slow little march up to this area, marshalling area, let's call it, which is at the end there. See the fence line. This is shit footage, man. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know where they're going to go once they get there. Oh, they'll probably have more speeches maybe, because they can't really, they can't get inside the fenced off area, I wouldn't think. I mean, it's possible, of course, but I doubt it. I think they're just going to get to the fence and do the yelling and letting people know their feelings. A lot of other people up here filming it now that were here for the, I guess they won the Taiwan Pride, the two people from the Taiwan Pride. I'm sure there's probably more, and here's the boys in their kind of onesies, or whatever the hell that is. But this, yeah, so they're just going to stand here and chant, I think. As you can see, Evan, who's in charge of it, up on the grassy knoll up there, elevated. It's tall anyway, but so that's obviously the RFS. Who's RFS? The Fireys? Yeah. So you've got other various groups all turning up as well. Guy with his bicycle and his flags, and you got various other people in various other outfits, and then that's the RFS. And the cops are doing another cordon here now, so I'm on the back side of the cordon. They're coming down to the fence. So I think I think it'll be just like cordon them into the grass here, so they don't interrupt these people that are coming here. Everyone else is just rocking up, and they'll be told to go. Yeah, I think they're right. If they're part of it, I don't know how they're going to do it. I guess if they're part of it, they can come through, and if they're not part of it, you don't get a chance. Or they're sending them to a different gate now, maybe. People seem to be sent to a different spot. So, put my extender rod on, and we'll have a sneaky look over the fence. Pause and we'll come back on. Alright, so it looks like they're all here now. And we're going to have a few more, maybe have a few more speeches.
Trying to come through behind you. So gather in. It's a queer group, we've all been close to people before. So we just had a really big march. And one of the reasons that we had to have this march is because
I think everyone else is being moved off to the next corners now. They can't get in, everyone's coming around to go in here, and they're saying no.
So we have an existential problem here. We have a pride that's not run by people, but we've got a hell of a lot of people. And we have an organisation. I'm told that apparently even the city of Sydney and the main sponsor of Mardi Gras have been trying to speak to them about resolving the situation. The majority of people, but failed, because, well, the CEO is what he is. But this situation is the one that was created. It was created by someone who is insistently pro-genocide, who has sold out our pride. When people do sell-offs, when governments do sell-offs, people protest, unions strike, and when our pride is being sold off to the highest bidder, we march. We could do nothing less. But I think there is a question that needs to be posed here. Will they let us march? Because when they cut our spot last night, it wasn't to make way for another float. There is just going to be an empty spot right near the front. So ABC are just going to have to skip over. There's a pack in there, an envelope, with a whole bunch of wristbands that are ours that are not going to go anywhere else. So what are Mardi Gras going to do about that? Our grudge is not with the staff. A lot of them have worked extremely hard to put together an immense project. They are workers, and I support every claim and fight that they have in their union to deal with what must be a shitty management. Imagine working for these folks.
Someone just gave them the bird
a hard stretch of the day.
Women in spirit.
But what we do need to hear, I think, is from Jesse or the coaches himself. What do you think? If they want to cut us from the parade, do you think maybe they should send down someone to actually confirm that this is all not just some psychotic pipe dream by little Zionists who went off over too much porn late last night? Wait, probably a little bit too hard. What we need to know, I think, is if this is a bit of a democratic decision. Where was this voted up? Was it voted up by members? Was it voted up by a board? And I think that's something that we need to convey. And so, we maybe have, let's see, someone's in the house. Gosh, my eyes are a little bit strained after yelling, which I know is a little bit of a surprising thing. But I think we should ask if the staff would be able to pass on a message for us to the CEO and say that we would like to have a discussion with him to send a delegation, because we think this parade deserves to go ahead as planned. And cutting people for criticizing the genocide is not in the spirit of pride. In one of the very first Pride marches, I remember seeing a video of Sylvia Riviera, and we're always told about this amazing history. But did you know she had to storm her way on stage? That people tried to snatch the mic from her and say that this is not their space, that this is not what Pride has been about. This is a debate about what the purpose of Pride is. Is the point of Pride to sell out? Whether it is in the 70s to the mafia and the cops, or now legalized business and the cops. Is that what this is about? Aha. So, I would ask maybe if someone would like to go on our behalf and ask the staff if they can make a request for Jesse Matheson or Mr. Lyle to come down and speak with us. I'm only unsubtly gesturing, it's not an implicit indication at all.
This person is going. Seems to be the only one. Question, and the woman is on the blower now, so maybe she's passing on the request to the CEO. Anyway, she did what she was asked to do, and we'll see what happens from here.
I think everyone around here does need to know that we want to march. Pride and Protest has been barred from marching in the Mardi Gras parade. Because there is no pride in genocide, because we've stood up for Palestine, and because because we've stood up for trans rights. Shame. Shame. So we want to be let in. We want to march. Let us march.
Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march. Let us march.
I think that we're going to be here for a little while, letting everyone know that Mardi Gras Incorporated has an unprecedented act against pride and protest. They are unprecedented in the night before Mardi Gras, refusing us to protest. We've got to let everyone know. But we also want
ABC,
that's what we're asking.
ABC, what do they say? Lights, camera, sparkle. So I'm not sure if they are all ABC employees, but yeah.
To complain, to ask why, and also to let us in. Let us in!
Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Let us in!
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for 3 or 4 logistic hands to take this megaphone, quite nice, loud, over to this area. We're going to be chanting the whole way down. We're going to be waving at everyone. Talk to people as you go. We're going to set up over there and let's see if they're going to stop us from entering, hey? Let us in!
Alright, so it looks like they're going to be on the move again. She's just asked people if they can come down to the next corner and then turn. And the cops are on the move as well. So let's get ahead of it. So they'll be turning here. And they said they're going to reconvene somewhere further along. And there'll be more. So there'll be another gate apparently here. A lot of people all queued up to get in this gate, so it'll probably be more apt space to be. Yeah, the cops are very. The cops aren't doing not doing handsy at all today. They're not hands on at all after a couple of weeks ago. So these guys pretty much. That was Rachel Evans there who just teed them up to come. But I think they're going to be blocked here. The cops will block them off here at this point, so they'll be coming down this hill and going around, I guess. Or they're banging on the wall, and they're going to come down. So Rachel Evans is leading it down here, and the cops are going to try and cut them off again, I guess. Or not. Everyone else, they're calling them through, so they're blocking off that section. Oh no, she's parking the bike up, she's parking the Greenmobile. So I think they will probably try and convene here, and then now the cops are coming in. So they'll block them off from coming here, I guess. I don't really know, it's all, just make it up as it goes along. But then other people wanting to come in they've been blocked off at the pass. And all these high-vis boys here are not getting anywhere either. Oh no, they're pushing through. They're saying, fuck this shit, we're going in. Oh, so the cops, they just waited a minute till the cops got them stopped. So now the cops have got a big cordon line here that runs, runs pretty much, there's a gap here, and then it just runs up to the top, which leaves it open for the people to come in. So I'd say they'll be on the move again after this. Just keep an eye on the bike, I guess, and we'll see. other people just taking photos now as well, the randoms. But yeah, they wanted to get the microphone happy again to let people know what's going on. They go up high, sneak in as one of these. Oh, these people building pride. There's random people wanting to get through and the cops are not letting them. Here she's off speaking again now. Here, right? That way. It's an aggro cop, that one. Keep away from him.
Well, we are taking on the justice issues.
Through now, this guy with his
The justice issues.
kids.
Palestine
Kids anyway. Go that way. So no more going through.
This does indicate they're getting a bit more serious. Too many couples. Not enough justice. Too many couples. Not enough justice. Too many couples. Not enough justice. Too many couples.
I don't know why they don't try and get them through up the top.
We don't want to get arrested here today, folks. They're not justice. They're not planning. Folks, we are not planning. Folks, we are not planning. We are not planning to get arrested here today. What we are planning to do is march in Mardi Gras. We are not planning to get arrested because we know what this will mean for the Minsk government, for the New South Wales police. We know that if they beat up on queers again, it's 1978 all over again show. Protesters like us started Mardi Gras. This was us. This was us. We are asking, we are demanding that Mardi Gras abide by its decision 2 days ago to let us march. We want to march in Mardi Gras. We are asking everyone walking past, let us in, 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 let us in. Let us in, let us in, let us in.
Because the staff said they'll ask, while we wait for a representative of Mardi Gras to tell us whether we'll be let in or not, it's worth thinking about what the plan was this evening and what it still is going to be. So, one of the key things that we did at the AGM is pass a motion that Mardi Gras should, considering the rise of transphobia, encourage, important word that's being debated, mind you, encourage trans rights to be taken up in the parade. This is a victory, and it shows that the membership of Mardi Gras and the everyday people that actually make up this parade support trans rights and trans people. It shows that everyday people think the agenda of Trump and his attachés in the Liberal Party and seemingly the Labour Party are rubbish. But the board decided that that's an imposition, that that's a threat, that that's scary to them. It's shameful. One of the things that we decided to do, and I guess it's a point of contention for tonight, is that we were going to hand out 1,000 small trans rights flags to anyone who wanted them. We have a whole bag of unput together, what is it called when you need to put the stick in the front? Unassembled. Thank you, we've got a words person. A wordsmith. Yes, give clap for words. Thank you, wordsmith. So, we have a whole bunch of those that need to be assembled. Because I think the majority of people here would actually be happy with that. For trans rights. ceasefire. When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
In the background, everyone's being...
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! We also have a bunch of anti-genocide corflutes somewhere amongst the crowd. I think it's in a big nanny wagon that is distributed somewhere that I can't see in between all the beautiful people. And the purpose of these corflutes is that we can give them to people of any throat. And they will say that people don't support the genocide. And that's something that's free to take. Because whether or not we march tonight, and I think we should, I think and the co-chairs should find their little spine in a discount store and say that we can march. But one way or another, this night does not have to go down as a night where the board, the CEO, get to say that this is a pro-genocide pride. We can give things out such that we give out enough of them, there's no way that the entirety of the parade will be censored. Right? And I think that's the most important thing. I know that there's some piglets behind us who've gotten their leg day. And I think something that's important to note is us getting into a fight with them is actually not going to change them. These people are here and they are part of an operation called Operation Odin. They're here more or less because they volunteered to do the dirty work.
Shame!
And these are not our friends. And what does it mean if they're not your friends? It's not worth having a discussion with them and thinking that you can change them. Hey, it's not worth it. But what we can do tonight is we can make sure that no one forgets the message of trans rights, that no one forgets the message that genocide is a crime. This is a night that should be about trans pride, not genocide. Not genocide! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride, not genocide! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride, not genocide! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride! Trans pride, not genocide! Trans pride! Let us in! 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 So take this. Quite a lot of people in, but there's still parade entrance. They're still on their way. There's a lot of support for Pride and Protest out in the wider community. Big round of applause for the organisers, really. They've been sterling, absolutely sterling under fire. There's a lot of support, obviously, too, for Palestine. Queers for Palestine have a huge following across the world. The far right are coming for anyone who is standing up as a proud queer and standing up for Palestine, because we are dangerous in the solidarity mix, aren't we? We are very dangerous, we're also very cute. So I think there's a real need for us to keep our movement going. We really want to march tonight. We want the CEO and Mardi Gras Inc. to feel our pressure, don't we? We're not going away. We're still here. You can still let us in. But after this Mardi Gras march, there's going to be lots of discussion that we will lead about the fact that Mardi Gras bans the real spirit of 78 Pride and Protest from this march, and that Queers for Palestine is a powerful force across the world against Israel's genocide, and we're not going away. bag that we took along? Does anyone remember where it is? Because it would be great to have some volunteers to hand out the flags. So, I'm hoping that they didn't get left behind. So can I have a collective member perhaps make sure that's happened because
And while people are looking for the trans flags, let's give a round of hello and applause to everyone who's actually making it into Mardi Gras. Hi everyone! Hi! Woo! Mardi Gras was a riot! We won't keep quiet! Mardi Gras was a riot! We won't keep quiet! We won't keep quiet!
This is the only entry for the ticket.
Pride was the riot! Pride was the riot! Pride was the riot!
We're working for the Mardi Gras.
Yeah. I got the message. Yeah. Oh, you can argue with them a bit, and then the cops step in. Pain in the ass. And now, oh yeah, there is a lot of people coming in now. Anyway, all right. How do we get through here? So it's yeah, there's hordes of people arriving now because I think they meet at the park in various spots, and then they gather together, and then they move in. Oh, sorry, a bit shaky there. So yeah, I'm kind of. Are they going to get on the move again?
Police are refusing to let us in. Police are refusing to let us in because we support stopping genocide. They don't want to hear the message. The police private protest.
That's more. What she's doing is a little more effective, I think. Just down here. Oh, there's another lady talking now. Oh, missed that.
And I also have been asked to do a bit of an announcement. There are some undercover constitutional let's be honest, you can often tell an undercover cop. You can always tell through investigation. Yeah, the hit on my car. But remember, the point of this, we won't beat the police just by getting in conflict with them. We'll beat the police tonight by making sure that they can't stop our message getting out there. So, if you want to be part of the call to give out trans rights flags, you've heard from Lauren that's up there, so I've got a fuse there. So I think some more that needs to be assembled, as our wordsmith mentioned. So volunteer for that. I also believe there's the pamphlets that are going around. I think Riley might have them, and they something that we can give to other folks about opposing the genocide. So please find Riley and or Miles, I think are the people who have those. And yeah, it'd be great if we could have everyone's looking handing out while we wait for Mardi Gras answer. Thank you.
All right, I might pause for a minute. They're waiting on the answer from the Mardi Gras board as to whether or not they're going to come in. Oh, someone else now. All right. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game for a few minutes until the decision is made about what's happening. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I hope super zoomed in while I was walking. So this looks like the RFS people coming in. Is this the Palestinian guy? This red carpet. Pause again, I think, because this will just be standing and chanting, and then if they start to move again, they might, I don't know where they're going to move, but if they start to move again, we will start to film again. But, or otherwise, maybe I'll just call it a day and go home, one or the other. Alright, I might call it a day. They're continuing to just say, you can hear in the background, let us in, let us in. But the numbers are dwindling, people are leaving, the socialist types have gone already, the Palestine guy's already gone, a lot of people have called it a day. Yeah, there's more and more people arriving, and a whole bunch of brides, I missed that, a whole bunch of brides too. Even the cops are going, I think. They're getting rid of some cops, or are they just backing up down here? I'm not sure. No, I think the cops... Oh, they're yelling at us because this lady's yelling. They've all come down to... This is an old lady yelling at them. Yeah. There's the brides. A whole bunch of brides. Not sure what all that's about. It's a mix. I don't know, I don't go to Mardi Gras, so I wouldn't know. Maybe not bright, maybe I'm just seeing that. They had veils on, so that's why I thought it was. We've got a little bit of pushback here with the coppers and these couples. They're the ones, that's the one in the middle is that Luna, who's the, apparently she's a, or he or she, I'll say she to be nice, is a member of the board, and the other one is Damian is as well, and they spoke, but I have a feeling from reading things they were booted, they might have been booted off, but it looks like these cops just, whenever there's a little bit of a noise on the line, these cops just, it's all got given a translag and just threw it in the ground straight away. Walking a dog. So yeah, like I said, I might call it a day. Are you okay, people? To say, more brides and bridettes. So I think there's other people. It's like an umbrella that pokes out and gets someone pretty short in the eye. So it's the real Mardi Gras looking types here. Especially. All exactly in the best condition, but I guess everyone's different. Trying to give away a trans flag for trying. It's funny that you'd think that this would be the most trans favourable time for an area in Sydney ever, and it's, you just can't even give it away. It's like, trans flag? No thanks. Oh yeah, you took one. Okay. Stick it in his pocket. Not sure what all these lads are, but oh, he's getting right in and get the picture of the wings. Cops, they are upset about the cops being in Pride today. Yeah, look, I could stay here all day, but I kind of had enough of waiting for it to happen. Well, the cops had a break in the stuck in it. The cops had a bit of a break because they got to get all these people in now, and I don't think they can. It's very hard to manoeuvre them in, especially with some guy standing in the middle, so it doesn't make it easy. But he's got a full winged costume that he's got to get together later on. Oh, that's the lady who's still going. So she was the one that they were upset about before, but she's doing the best. She's doing the best at being loud. Like I said, I'm about to go. So. keep saying that. But I think when the groups come, each group that is going to go, who are these 40 Australian Human Rights Commission celebrating 40 years. So it's more just the same of the let us in again. So that was 4 minutes ago when I last said it, and 4 minutes later, and it's still pretty much the same. Yeah, time to go. Time to go. All right, goodbye. Let's throw one more in. Just at the top here of the participant entry. Let's see inside the blacked off screen because of the entry point. Milling around it's the lady that they asked if the CEO could come out, but I don't know that there's an answer. I guess we'll find out. Cops are still manoeuvring people around. Taiwan Pride, there's another one. Quite a few Taiwan Pride. Keep moving everyone in. Why they don't just march, let them through. A lot of them. Oh, there's heaps of Taiwan Pride. It was just the two. I smell bacon, I smell grease, I smell New South Wales police, they're saying again. They're common ones they chant. That's Rachel Evans again speaking. I can't quite see where she is, but she, her, they, them, as she said, who she is. I'll just say she to make it simple, saying, yeah, same kind of thing again. All right, well that seems to be a bit of a lull. He's part of the, what was that? Part of the pride group. So I wonder how many the trans wave. Definitely at there earlier because I remember the red mask and everything else. Yeah, all right. Yeah, he went in. He's gone in, but I don't know what harm he can do or what will happen on his own there. All right. That is definitely a week one more scoop on the drummer's bass.
We don't know if they will let us in. What we know is that we have waged a very insane campaign to be allowed in, have we not?
Did they say? Did the CEO say yes? They'll come out. They asked you before.
Oh, I don't know, sorry.
You didn't get an answer, or you didn't ask?
I didn't ask, sorry.
You didn't ask. Okay. I would like to look at these things here. These bloody bikes. Videoing at the thing. Look at that. Freaking mother load. Come this way. It's just, I think they're now, from what someone told me, they're geo-fenced. So you can only ride them so far, and then you got to dump it. So this is the dumping ground for the bikes. You can only assume at the end of Mardi Gras they'll be picked up. But you know, as I always say, mobile garbage bag. You got a bottle of grog, another bottle of thing, coffee, like another coffee. Hey boys, you're responsible for these things? How does it work now? Are they geo-fenced that they can't move?
Yeah, move.
But it's a geo-fencing, so they have to park here now. Is that right?
Yeah, I have to park.
Oh yeah, no worries, all good, man. All right. Yeah, no speckins English. All right, well, happy lads though, but not a friggin' word of English. So yeah, like I said, I think they're geo-fenced. Now they come round and they load them in the back, and they run them off. They'll pick them up and take them off elsewhere now. From what I can gather, you know, the whole thing is a con and it's a rort. They weren't empty. They probably throw the rubbish, probably pick the rubbish out and throw it on the ground. Yeah, so these ones are all just dumped. And lots of people still heading up to Mardi Gras, and it's gonna be a busy night up there. I'll be happy to get home, man, have a beer and just get the hell out of here. And the roads, there's going to be a schmozzle on the roads too, because, well, it always is, and they tow away. If you park here, you get towed. It's a towaway zone everywhere. So anyone that didn't remember or has buggered up your cars, when you come back for your car, it's long gone. Yeah, a bit more rubbish coming into World Square, so it's just dumped all the shit here. All right, that's enough. We won't rant on. But they do need, you know, again, there's two sides to everything. You see these garbage bins in the city the council puts on, they cover them in plastic, so you can't put your shit in the garbage bin, so everyone piles it on top. They want to do the right thing, but they can't. All right, let's end, what are we going to end this one on? Yes, I think at the end I spoke to the lady and I said to her, they asked you to go and speak to the CEO about letting them back in. You can see it in the end of the video. And then, and I said, did you, or something or other? And she said, no, I didn't. I said, well, you didn't get an answer, or you didn't speak to her? She said, I didn't speak to the CEO. So anyway, how about we end it on that note?